Everyone is talking about who will win the World Cup, but maybe that is not the real story. Because this tournament is not just another World Cup. This might be the final time the world watches Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo walk onto football's biggest stage together. Two names, two careers, two different football religions, and one final tournament where history is not just being played, it is being closed. For almost 20 years, football has been divided by one question: Messi or Ronaldo? One side saw Messi as the natural genius, the boy who seemed born with the ball attached to his foot, the player who did not look like he was fighting the game, but quietly controlling it. Every touch was soft, every pass looked impossible, every dribble felt like the pitch had opened only for him. The other side saw Ronaldo as the ultimate machine, the man who built himself piece by piece. Speed, power, jumping, finishing, hunger, discipline, obsession. He was not just playing against defenders. He was playing against time, doubt, weakness, and anyone who thought greatness had limits. And somehow, both sides were right. That is what made this rivalry different. It was not just about goals. It was not just about trophies. It was about two completely different answers to the same question. What does greatness look like? For Messi, greatness looked effortless. For Ronaldo, greatness looked earned. And now, in 2026, the world is facing something football fans knew was coming but never really wanted to accept. The Messi and Ronaldo era is almost over. This World Cup feels different because every camera angle feels heavier. Every warm-up feels more emotional. Every walk from the tunnel feels like it could become a memory people replay for the next 50 years. Because when you watch a young player in a World Cup, you think about the future. But when you watch Messi and Ronaldo now, you think about everything that came before. You remember Barcelona against Real Madrid. You remember Camp Nou and Bernabeu nights where the world seemed to stop. You remember Messi walking through defenders like they were shadows. You remember Ronaldo rising above everyone in the box like gravity had made a private deal with him. You remember Ballon d'Or ceremonies, Champions League knockouts, impossible comebacks, free kicks, hat tricks, tears, celebrations, silence, and stadiums that sounded like they were about to collapse. But the strange thing is this: for all the trophies, all the records, all the goals, and all the arguments, the World Cup has always treated them differently. For Messi, the World Cup became the missing piece. For years, people said he could never be the greatest without it. They said Argentina needed Maradona's kind of ending. They said club football was not enough. They said one trophy was the difference between genius and immortality. Then Qatar happened. Argentina suffered. Messi suffered. But somehow, the story finally bent toward him. The boy from Rosario became the man lifting the trophy the whole country had demanded from him for years. And once he won it, something changed. He no longer needed to prove the same thing. That is why this World Cup is so emotional for Messi. He is not chasing validation anymore. He is defending a dream. He is walking into 2026 not as the man trying to complete his legacy, but as the man trying to protect the ending he already earned. And that is dangerous, because a player with nothing left to prove can sometimes play with a freedom nobody can control. But Ronaldo's story is different. For Ronaldo, the World Cup is the one mountain that never fully belonged to him. He has conquered almost everything else. League titles, Champions League nights, international glory with Portugal, and goal records that feel almost unreal. But the World Cup has always remained the empty room in his mansion. And that is why this tournament matters so much. Because for Ronaldo, this is not just nostalgia. It is unfinished business. At this stage of his career, he is not the same player who once destroyed defenders with pure speed. He is not the same winger who used to explode down the touchline and make fullbacks look helpless. But Ronaldo has always survived by changing. When speed became harder, he became more clinical. When wide spaces disappeared, he became more dangerous in the box. When people said he was finished, he found another way to make them talk about him again. That is the real Ronaldo story. Not just talent, but adaptation, refusal, the belief that the final chapter is not written until he writes it himself. And that is why this World Cup feels like a movie where nobody knows the ending. Messi already has the crown. Ronaldo still wants the one crown missing from his collection. One is protecting history, the other is attacking it. And somewhere in between, football is preparing to say goodbye to the era that raised an entire generation of fans. Think about that for a second. There are teenagers watching this World Cup who were not even alive when Messi and Ronaldo first became superstars. There are grown adults who went from school to jobs to families while watching these to dominate football. There are fans who measured their own lives through their rivalry. A Messi goal on a Sunday night, a Ronaldo hat trick in Europe, a Clasico argument in school, a Ballon d'Or debate with friends, a YouTube compilation watched 100 times. For millions of people, Messi and Ronaldo were not just players. They were the timeline. They were the background music of modern football. And now the music is getting quieter. But here is the twist. Their final World Cup is not only about them. It is also about the players waiting to replace them. Kylian Mbappe is no longer just the future. He is now the present. Erling Haaland is chasing the global stage that can turn a superstar into an immortal. Jude Bellingham carries England's dream with a confidence that feels older than his age. Lamine Yamal represents something even more frightening for the old era, a generation that grew up watching Messi and Ronaldo, learned from them, and now wants to take the stage from them. That is what makes this tournament so powerful. It is not just a goodbye, it is a handover. The old kings are still standing, but the new kings are already at the gates. And the World Cup does not wait for anyone. It does not care about memories. It does not care how many goals you scored 10 years ago. It does not care how many shirts you sold, how many trophies you lifted, or how many fans still chant your name. At the World Cup, one bad touch can become a headline. One missed chance can become a lifetime regret. One final goal can become immortality. That is the cruelty of football, and that is also why we love it, because nothing is guaranteed. Messi could create one last magic moment that makes the world feel young again. Ronaldo could score one late goal and make every critic silent for a night. Argentina could go deep again and turn Messi's final tournament into a victory parade. Portugal could build around Ronaldo and give him the one ending he has chased his whole life. Or football could do what football often does. It could refuse the fairy tale. It could remind everyone that legends do not always leave with trophies. Sometimes they leave with applause. Sometimes they leave with tears. Sometimes they leave with one final walk across the pitch while the crowd understands they are not just watching a player leave a tournament, they are watching an era leave the sport. And that is why this World Cup is already becoming football history. Not because we know what will happen, but because we know what is at stake. This is not only Messi versus Ronaldo anymore. That argument is too small now. This is about memory. This is about time. This is about the moment when football fans realize that the players they thought would last forever are human after all. The legs get older. The recovery gets slower. The pressure gets heavier. The young players get faster. But greatness does not disappear. It changes shape. Sometimes greatness is a trophy. Sometimes it is a goal. Sometimes it is one perfect pass. Sometimes it is simply walking onto the pitch one more time while the whole world watches in silence. For Messi, this World Cup is the final chapter of a story that already reached heaven. For Ronaldo, it is the last chance to steal the ending that football never gave him. And for the rest of us, it is something even more personal. It is one last chance to watch them together on the biggest stage in the world. One last chance to argue. One last chance to believe. One last chance to say, maybe tonight, one of them will do it again. Because after this, football will continue. New stars will rise. New rivalries will begin. New children will pick up a ball and choose their own heroes. But it will never feel exactly like this again. Messi and Ronaldo did not just play football. They changed what football expected from greatness. They made impossible numbers feel normal. They made every season feel like a race against history. They made fans choose sides, defend beliefs, and fall in love with the game in different ways. And now, at the 2026 World Cup, the world is watching the final pages turn. Maybe there will be one last goal, maybe one last celebration, maybe one last heartbreak. But whatever happens next, this tournament will be remembered for more than scores. It will be remembered as the World Cup where football looked at its two greatest modern icons and realized something painful. The future is arriving, but first, the past deserves one final standing ovation. And that is why Messi and Ronaldo's last World Cup is already becoming football history, **.